Howdy, everyone. I hope everyone had good week. Good week for for everybody. Anyways, where you guys are all now. So you are in Chompers' Golden Casino, the Golden Bull. And you all had a big old intimidating talk with him where he sure did offer you a lot of things. Offered to kind of just take over Avernus once you do what you do with Zariel. You just kind of have to hand it over to him, and he'll give you all his resources to make sure that you're able to stop Zariel doing from what they're doing. And he sure did offer that to you. But you all also were probably rightfully suspicious because, again, he is a pit fiend. So you were like, hey, can we just keep the contract around and just kind of fuck around the place a little bit while we think about it? And he's like, sure. And then he was also like, oh, by the way, I have this crystal that can... Oh, or he was like, oh, hey, Enzo, by the way, I have this crystal that could also just kind of kill your old boss, just insta-kill. And Enzo was like, that sure is a thing that I will definitely keep in mind to either use to agree to the deal, or maybe even possibly just try to find a way to just take from you without you noticing, maybe. That's also a thought.
Oh my god, guys, are we gonna do a casino heist?
Who knows? That, I guess, is up to you, because that is where we are left now. You are now within the confines of the Golden Bull. It's pretty well kind of just a big old... the main area of the Golden Bull is just kind of a big, round, sort of dome, just sort of like room, in a way. It's just a huge, round room floor filled with all sorts of slot machines and tables and games to amuse and to enjoy. And from this domed sort of center room that is filled with all these games, there are various rooms and such that show off the varying other bits of entertainment. The three notable of which is the infinite...
I don't know.
That's okay, I'll go ahead and wait. It's probably things. Use that opportunity to just take a swig of water. Hi, Hobbs.
They're stalking me.
Well, only Hobbs kind of is.
Oh, he's in his bed. That's not...
Honestly, he's just kind of chilling out in his bed, yeah.
I almost want to ask for one of your chocolates for dessert. Oh, there, yours.
I mean, you can. Oh, Hobbs in his soft face. I don't know if they're actually still hearing or not. I probably should have asked them before going quiet if they still had, like, at least their headphones on so that they could hear. But I forgot to ask them that, and that was on me. That is absolutely on me. And I'll have to remember that for next time. I guess I can just, as we wait, I can go ahead and just start spouting off interesting D&D facts that I found out about today. So, Rakshasas. So basically, they're just kind of furry lion catfolk that were born out of an infernal ritual, the reasons for which were kind of lost to time. But they're basically kind of just citizens of the Nine Hells, essentially. And the only... And that doesn't sound as interesting at first, But the only other real notable thing about Rakshasas is that their thumbs are on the other side. So their thumbs face inward to the body instead of outward. They got backwards thumbs. Which is how you can immediately tell a Rakshasa from most other catfolk.
Wouldn't it be the other way around? They face outward from the body rather than inward?
Well, I mean, I guess that's like if you're showing the front of your palms to someone. But I guess, yeah, they would be going out to the body instead of inwards if you're showing someone your palm.
Well, I was thinking of them just having their arms down their side.
Anyways, the thumbs are on the opposite side of the hand. So that's how you can tell a Rakshasa apart from other catfolk.
So if you have trouble drawing hands and you accidentally put the thumb on the wrong side, you just say, "Oh no, I was drawing this race of cat person." That's all.
That was drawing a Rakshasa. Also, Rakshasa, apparently, when you send them back to Avernus, they can come back to the material plane on their own. It just takes a really long time to do it. And also, when you do that to a Rakshasa, they hold a grudge. And they will go after you, and anyone close to you, and your descendants, and basically just your entire bloodline and anyone tangentially connected to your bloodline.
Which would be a fun D&D plot.
Pissing... Yeah, just accidentally pissing off a Rakshasa.
Or like when your ancestors did and now it's coming back.
Yep. That's why Rakshasas make pretty good mid-bosses. They're not great final bosses, but they're a great mid-boss villain. Oh, looks like Calvin and Hobbes are wrestling with each other.
Oh.
Yeah. Whoa!
Oh goodness.
Hobbes is being bullied.
Oh no.
Hey, Hobbes, come here. Come here, you big bully. Come here.
Calvin runs to Daddy for help now.
Come here, you big bully. You big fucking bully. Just throwing your weight around.
He really is.
Doing that to the poor runt. It's safe to come out, Calvin.
I've seen Calvin get the edge on him though. It has to be the right kind of environment.
Yep.
Look at him go!
Look at the little guy go.
What is this character?
Peppino! He's
Peppino.
the protagonist of hit new game Pizza Tower. Peppino Spaghetti, my beloved.
Hobbs is just trying to pull away. Like, he really wants to go after Calvin.
Oh.
He really wants to. You relax. You relax, you weirdly I'm surprised you have this much energy for such a big boy.
They get squirrely after lunch.
They do.
And breakfast. Probably even dinner, but we lock them up.
Okay. It's okay.
Welcome back!
Anywho, anyways, a big casino room, big round casino room that is filled with a bunch of slot machines, card tables, and various other gambling entertainment commodities. But surrounding it are three notable other rooms. One is the performing stage where the entertainers kind of rotate out, various entertainers rotate out and people can go there for a show. And that is to the left. And to the right is something called the Infinite Buffet, which is basically just a if you were to look inside, it's literally a buffet table that, at least to you, looks like that it stretches off for miles. It is literally an infinite buffet table. And then the final room seems to be where, where you trade in your chips for soul coins. Basically where the bookies and everything.
That's Hobbs, actually.
Yeah, that's Hobbs. He's pouting.
He's trying to get Calvin to come out so he can harass him some more.
Like, Calvin doesn't wanna.
Yeah.
Meow, meow. I had a lot of thoughts about this. Hobbs is... Okay, I guess he does. I guess he does. Hobbs, are you what? What are you? If you're just gonna keep interrupting, I'm not writing that boy a character sheet. I'm not writing that boy a character sheet. Anyways, but the last one is the last room, which is just across the room from this round room, is something that is quite just simply called the exchange, where you go to the teller. Yeah, you go to the casino teller. He takes your chips and exchanges them for. Well, you can exchange them for soul coins, but you do see a sign next to it that also reads other exchange things. They have the teller also sells various things in exchange for soul coins or soul chips. You do also notice that they do accept gold, but the funny thing about the gold exchange here, it's 10 times the markup of anything that would be worth anything in gold. So, and in fact, you suspect that it is purposely so. It seems, in fact, that it might be sort of cheaper to buy things in soul coins or chips.
Disgusting.
Well, the chips are a ripoff, so.
Yeah, the chips are just money that belongs to the house. So. But in any case, that is where you are. What does your intrepid band of adventurers want to do now?
Well,
Five
dang,
chips
time
and
to
start
play the
gambling.
slots.
Time to play the slots.
I'm so sorry. Yara, what did you say?
Essentially, I was saying the same thing. I said buy 5 chips and start gambling.
Yeah, come on, we can make 5 into 10 into 50 into 500. I believe in us.
So, you see among them, you do see waitresses carrying around like a dish. Some of them are, they're female presenting waitresses, but if you look at their heads, they're all just kind of like varying horrifying demon monster heads. So, one of them being like a giant horned cyclops type woman, the other being like this sort of horrifying dragon sort of visage. Not like dragonborn, like literally like fleshy human body with a dragon head on top. Hot. But yeah, you see these women sort of walking around in dishes, and attached to their hip seems to be like what seems to be like little chip dispensers. That that clearly kind of indicates to you that you can go to these women and exchange soul coins or gold, if you so wish, for the chips.
Someone somewhere will find them hot.
Sure. Anyways.
I find them hot, extremely.
Sure. Anywho. So you guys are wanting to exchange for chips?
Puddles is sulking.
Absolutely not.
Nope.
Nope.
Just we were just fucking around. No. What we want to do is read that fucking contract, baby. I don't know if we want to go anywhere or in particular to do it, but
let's go. Casinos, as a person who literally worked at a casino, casinos tend to have restaurants in them. Let's go eat, and at the table we can peruse
Oh,
the contract.
the infinite buffet.
That is the infinite buffet. They do have tables.
Infinite buffet.
What if
That's
we
the infinite
just
buffet then.
What if we just walked down the buffet table for a week just to see what we could find?
Well, that might actually be a day's journey for you. Alright, okay, so you head on over to the buffet, and as the name of this buffet suggests, it is, you do see a winding table that sort of wiggles and worms and kind of just is going down the row infinitely. In fact, if you continue looking down, the point of origin kind of goes over the horizon. You can't see the end of the thing. It's just, it literally kind of goes infinitely to the point where you just can't see it anymore. You're kind of wondering if this room is its own sort of demi-plane a little bit, to where that can happen, but you don't really think about it that long. A waiter is kind of, a host is sort of waiting at the front and is just sort of like, table for 4.
Is this food safe for mortals?
Oh, if you have to think about it. Enzo says.
Well, excuse me if it's been a while since I've been on the mortal plane. But, well, there is a pile of mortal flesh down at, I think, about a mile down that might be edible. There's the forbidden fruit about a block down the table.
This is... Hold on, just want to clarify and make sure I heard that correctly. Did you say there is mortal flesh available for consumption a little ways down the table?
Yeah, it is quite the ways down from the table, unfortunately.
Okay, understood. Just wanted to make sure I heard that correctly. Please continue.
I'm sorry, but it was suggested by the co-owner of the Golden Bull. It was prepared by the owner himself.
Understood.
However, we do cater to vegan appetites. Point to Charlie. You! However, the vegan section of the table includes fruits that were freshly imported from the trees of Celestia.
How on earth?
Oh my
did
god,
they
my
get that?
favorite pony.
No, that should perk you up because Celestia is a holy plane.
Yeah!
That's a...
Yeah, my favorite pony.
Ha!
Maybe Puddles asked that out loud. Like, how on earth did you get Celestia fruit?
Do you have any Luna fruit? I'm sorry.
I'm afraid it's
You're
not
amazing.
2010, sir.
Oh, if only it could be.
But, well, the boss imports them through means that he does not wish to discuss openly in this plane.
Okay.
However, to partake of the vegan options of the table, we do demand a deposit straight up of about 1,000 gold. Each.
You guys realize that we left all our gold in the car?
No, we didn't. We each took 1,000 It's fine. No, it just says, "Oh, okay, hold on," and he'll go run out to the car.
That's okay, Willie can just dig into his hat and he keeps a cartoon hole near the money pile and he just pulls money out of his hat. assume you'll just be having water and bread then.
And breadsticks. assumedly.
How much is that?
It is compliments of the casino. We call it the peasant special.
I don't mind being a peasant here.
We'll take it.
Alright, there's a seat to your... There's a booth to your left. He points to like a booth table. Have a seat. Someone will be there to wait for you, to be there with you shortly, should you choose to partake in anything worth of actual substance. Or don't. I don't care.
This guy needs a vacation.
This is my eternal punishment, ma'am.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I committed tax fraud in life.
Ah.
And there was also the fact that I brutally murdered my partner in cold blood.
Ah.
Hmm.
I see.
Yep,
It happens.
it sure does. They thought it would be ironic to punish me as I was punished in life by making me work in the service industry. So anyways, you get to your seat. The chairs are a velvety cushioned red. The table is it's a simple like white cloth table with like a little candle in the middle of it. It's, those little wax liquid candles or something that bob on the top a little bit. You know the ones?
You can only see the top of Puddle's head. Well, she sits down. Yeah, give me a picture. It's been a while since she sat across the table.
Does the madam need a booster seat?
Puddles turns a little red. He's like, that would be helpful.
He walks over and brings out a booster seat. It is a classic plastic booster seat that you would find in any McDonald's restaurant.
The one for toddlers.
Yep.
So mean to Puddles.
Okay, and then he leaves you alone. You're free to unroll the contract should you wish.
And so puts it on the table.
And unrolls the bitch. So you do unroll it, and the ink on the contract, or what's written on the contract, doesn't appear at first, but the words on the contract do eventually, magically sort of expand out and appear in sort of like a sparkle sort of thing. And it is written in Infernal, so
Okay.
really only those of you who can speak Infernal can read the contract.
Puddles and Olga?
So Puddles and Olga can read it just fine, as can Gargunth.
So let's do
Yeah, Willie's gonna hold up
Olga.
Gargoon.
Olga is going to make a point of like translating on paper for
Oh,
everybody.
that's smart.
Like,
yeah.
and she's gonna not only translate on paper, but like put down like this word could also mean this, like that sort of thing. She's gonna be very thorough about this shit.
Good, because it's contract.
Like she pulls out a parchment, does the whole licky at the end of her quill, and she's like, "All right, someone feed me breadsticks while I do this."
All right. So for those of you who do know Infernal, roll an investigate check with advantage.
Okay.
Those of you who do not, or those of you who do not have the shield basically translating for you, you're just rolling flat investigate check, but with a disadvantage.
So me invest
Yeah.
with
So
disadvantage.
yeah, I guess it's Enzo. I'm afraid with disadvantage.
That's okay. I just wanted to make sure because you said it was
Yeah.
flat and then you said with disadvantage.
Sorry.
first
I'm-
one is a 19.
Okay, sorry, I am a bit tired. I meant to say disadvantage.
Nah, you're good.
So 19.
So
19.
having advantage didn't help me. The first thing I rolled was a 1.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh, I have advantage. It's okay. I'll try again. Second thing I rolled was a 2.
Oh.
Garguth, you're not doing a good job.
So,
Gargant is not doing a good job.
so unfortunately, well, the reason for that is that Gargunth has been out of the game for quite some time, and the laws of Avernus have, of course, changed ever so slightly. So, he probably doesn't really quite understand why there's a lot of hidden legal jargon and not just like. You hear him mutter under his breath about how like these contracts used to be a lot more poetic and like more meaningful or something, and now it's just filled with technical mumbo jumbo he doesn't understand. And
What is Willie's reaction to that?
God. Well, he's just like, oh. He looks confounded by what he's hearing from this contract, because he's like,
he's
the
just,
legalese.
he's just I have a boomer for a shield.
Oh.
I have the boomer shield.
What was Olga's roll?
What was all this?
I got a 19.
Two
We
19s.
both got 19s. Heck yeah!
So
Yay!
through both of you, kind of keeping both of kind of working together, I guess maybe
Yeah.
that's why you got the same ones.
Heck yeah.
So luckily, both of you have enough experience, or at least Puddles seems to have a lot more experience in like deciphering like not exactly devil legalese, but normal legalese. She's worked with a couple of the scribes in the church once or twice to understand like laws and like some legalese here and there.
I mean, Olga is space. She runs on, like, she knows genie logic, so.
She knows genie. Well, I mean,
So
genie is genie.
Olga's got the street smarts.
But Olga's got street smarts. She knows trickery specifically, even if it is
I
just
love
fake.
that. With their smarts combined,
Yeah.
you make a good understanding of this contract.
I love it.
Oh, I love the idea of them two, the two of them like crouched over it, trying to like write down all the meanings and stuff that
Right.
they have to interpret.
Discussing
like-
the specific angles it could go with the meanings and stuff.
Yeah, and they're both learning from each other as a result.
Oh.
Like, ooh, I didn't even think about that.
Oh,
You know?
yeah!
Lily and Enzo are just like, wah wah.
Enzo rolled a
Gargunt's
7,
muttering.
so yeah. Enzo's like, I'll let you two read. Have fun.
So, from what you can sort of understand, and it's true. What Gargant said is true. A lot of this is written up in a lot of. It's very tight. It's a very tight contract. Not a lot of loopholes. Plenty of loopholes for him to exploit, though. And so you go through a lot of the you read through a lot of the legalese in this, and yeah, at first it seems like a pretty straightforward contract. Hereby, I offer aid in order to depose the ruler once known as Zariel herefore and thereafter. Yada yada yada. You do notice that the contract itself does sort of say that he'll only offer you protection and resources up until Zariel is deposed and he takes the throne. Anything he does thereafter is not a breach of contract.
Yeah, Olga definitely points that shit out and like
Right.
lets everyone know.
And Puddles is like nodding.
Like, it doesn't specifically say he'll do it, but it certainly doesn't says that he's not allowed to do it. It certainly does seem to indicate that if he wanted to, he could. I mean, it does make the sort of lame offer of like, sure, he'll offer you the portal to the mortal realm.
But it doesn't say, and it doesn't guarantee. It just says he'll offer it. Yeah.
Well, for one thing, he offers it to a mortal realm.
Oh.
A mortal realm.
A mortal being.
A mortal realm. So,
no.
you could end up in Baldur's Gate. You could end up in Eberron. You could end up in Kiev. You could end up in... You can end up in any universe. And with the legalese of this contract, he would be within his right to just send you to any mortal plane, untouched.
Yeah.
So...
I don't like this contract.
But yeah, outside of, like, those glaring loopholes, yeah, everything else is pretty well exactly as he said. He'd offer you the troops, he'd offer you his resources. Includes a lot of men. Like, just a lot of men and resources and machinery and all that sort of stuff.
Is there anything about returning Elturel to the surface?
Yep, he does say that he will, upon henceforth deposing the ruler Zariel, that he will return thus all stolen assets that she had stolen from other realms, up to and including lands that were taken therein.
Okay, there's that.
We could try to work out the fucked up loopholes, catch him in the lie, like, hey, nuh-uh,
I feel
renegotiate this.
I feel like if we called him out, he'd just come up with a different angle to weasel his way into being shady.
Olga takes notes on the sections and makes edits on her, on her own parchment to be like, we can. One thing about contracts is you gotta come to an agreement, and both parties can make their own changes. Just the other party needs a chance to read and agree to these changes.
Theoretically, he's already offered this. This has been
Yeah.
part of his offer. There's no reason for him to back out on us asking for a little more trust and a clearer promise.
So Olga will write down that specifically their safety extends beyond, the Zariel's deposal. By probably years, just to overextend it.
Years, yeah.
A typical soul NDA that lasts for about 10 years.
Yeah, and something I don't. So I misunderstood for just a sec, but I'm going to add it in anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Not only will we be returned to, she's going to specify the realm, the mortal realm, but she's also going to say that it will be all of them that gets to be returned.
Yeah.
Like, she's going to name.
We should
she's not going to name. She's going to say everyone included in our party.
We should specify what city in the realm too. In the plane.
Yeah.
Baldur's
Yeah,
Gate.
you know what? Yeah. Specify the city.
You will take us to 1-800 Cherry Street on on Oak Avenue.
You know, I don't think it's wrong to specify that much.
It is not wrong to specify. You are absolutely correct. I'm just being a bitch.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate is the goal.
Before writing this down, Olga will ask you guys. Now, by signing this contract as is, we are basically giving him the throne. We're giving it to him. Right. Should Azariel be deposed? Period. I think we should make it so that we have to call upon him willingly, and it has to be like a majority vote, that we all call upon him. And if he is called upon during this encounter, then he can be given the throne. But otherwise, if he is not part of this deposal, he will not take it.
Yeah, but you're also.
He does not have claim.
I don't
Good
know
luck
if we'd
convincing him
offer
of that.
Yeah.
Well, she's putting it. She put that offer out, and if he doesn't accept it, they don't have to sign it.
Yeah, and so
I mean, I was just gonna say, I mean, he seemed very sure that even if they peacefully dealt with Zariel, she'd be gone. So, like, it's literally like, if he's so sure of that, then he'd be given the throne anyway in that case. So, like...
It could be that he
So
doesn't
the
have
thing-
to help us unless we summon him.
So the thing is, and Enzo will say this, should we sign this contract, we are guaranteeing deposal of Zariel. No matter what he says, he does not know how exactly Zariel will react or what her terms will be. We had plans to go about this peacefully. We wanted a chance to talk to Zariel.
Right.
If we are signing this contract, we are forfeiting that chance because whatever we do must end in Zariel no longer being seated on that throne. Because if she doesn't, then we are breaking contract.
Puddle suddenly looks very concerned, and she's
Ooh,
like,
yeah,
"Yeah,
that's-
even if we change it where we only summon him if we need him, if she knew we were signing a contract with him when he wants to take her place, wouldn't that make her not be willing to talk to us?"
It's very likely if we show up with any support from another pit fiend, that is a message we are sending to Zariel. That we are here for a fight and we are ready for it. We have prepared for it. If we sign a contract, we are giving up that chance. However, if we sign a contract and we go about it this way, we are being guaranteed our chance to return Elturel to the surface. There is no guarantee otherwise what will happen. If he signs this contract, he is also bound to it, and he has made promise in this contract to return Elturel to the surface. Should we be able to get our other assurances? I would say this wouldn't be a bad option to take, given its guarantees.
Puddles is kind of frowning. She's like, "I really don't like him, though."
and so kind of like laughs a little. Like, you don't have to like him to do business with him.
But we're offering to put him in charge.
We are, and we don't have many other options. There's no guarantee there's a nice devil in Avernus to give the throne to. There's no guarantee Zariel will be nice should we try to do business with her. He just kind of shrugs. There are a lot of factors that we just have no control over, and we don't have the time nor resources to properly check and vet, you know?
Puddles kind of sighs, but she doesn't argue with him. Because his logic, he has good arguments.
We kind of got in really over our heads here, ain't we?
You know, I had a thought. We don't have any power here, you know? We're just little visitors to this plane. What does he gain by having a contract from us, from little old us?
I guess because we shook things up so well. With everything we've been doing so well.
Olga pushes the contract away from herself, and she steeples her fingers and rests her chin upon it and says, "I don't think little old me should be signing any contracts. I don't know what I'm doing." Instead of smiling at them.
Yeah, this is I'll be honest, it's a little above a pay grade. Deciding the fate of an entire,
Gargoon keeps making noises.
I saw
Wait,
nothing in
Gargoon's making noises?
Yeah.
I saw nothing in that contract that stated anything about the Blood War. In fact, from what little language I could understand of the contract, he mentioned nothing of it, and he seemed pointedly disinterested in it.
Should I roll to see if I know about the Blood War?
Sure, if anyone wants to know what the Blood War is, roll religion, I guess.
Religion?
Religion. Or I guess, like, straight.
No, that's really low.
What's the...
That's super
what are we
low. I'm
rolling?
not even gonna look at my
Uh,
modifier.
6 plus 5.
So I guess history. History would be a better check.
That's even lower.
Yeah, so if you want to know, if you want to see if your character knows
I
what the
want
Blood
to
War
know
is.
religion.
I know shit.
Religion's plus 5 for her. That's so much better than history.
I mean, roll, if you want to roll religion.
Yeah, it's 11.
11?
Yeah.
You've heard whispers of the Blood War.
Mm.
You know it, and its importance to Avernus. Though the details are rather... to you.
I rolled a 13.
You know a tidgeon more about the Blood War. You do know that apparently it is to keep demons out. And that's a very important thing, because demons are kind of shit to get everywhere. Especially if they got their hands on another realm.
I think about my other game. Sorry.
So that much, you do know. You do know that if the demons were to win in the Blood War, that would be bad.
Willie thinks for a moment, and he's like, if we talk to Zariel and it doesn't go well, we'd need a backup plan. But I don't think this guy should be a backup plan.
Enzo nods and says, listen, I don't particularly trust him. But I'm of the mind we don't necessarily have full luxury of trust right now. So the options are to go ahead, sign the contract, we have our guaranteed backup that we can take to Zariel and depose her, or do not sign the contract, we go, see what we can do on our own, but no longer have the element of surprise, as it were. If things go poorly and we have to retreat, then she knows us already. It can prepare for us for whatever next steps we take. And he shrugs a little and he's like, both options have their pros and cons.
Well,
And
go ahead.
He was just gonna end it with, and as you said, Willie, we're in a bit over our heads. He leans back and he like puts a foot up on like another chair or something, and shrugs. I don't think little old me likes signing contracts either.
Puddles is pointing at Gargunth though, and she's like, well, okay, the Blood War. How important is that?
Should the demons win and they take over Avernus, that would leave them sway into the other layers of hell. And should Avernus, and by extension the Nine Hells, fall, that would give them the resources and reach to reach into the other realms, to each mortal realm that the Nine Hells is connected to.
Should I roll to see how much she knows about demons? Does she know how dangerous demons are?
History.
Is that history, not religion? That's a natural 20.
So yep, well, because this is interplanar stuff. You do know about that sort of thing about the planes, about how, yeah, the abyss is kind of an interconsuming like virus sort of thing, and it tends to pull in other planes. And yeah, if they were able to consume the Nine Hells, that would give them enough reach to reach into any other mortal realm that they could possibly ever want. And if they were able to do that, even by extension, even some of the upper planes could possibly also be in danger. A lot of planes would be in danger in reality if the Nine Hells fell.
Yeah, so since it's a natural 20, I'm gonna say Puddles actually like pales a little bit, kind of thinking about this, and she asks, how important is the topmost leader in holding everything at bay?
Very much so. The leader of Avernus is the bulwark, the front lines in the war. If they should waver, the others would likely fall.
Yeah, and she looks to the rest of the group. She's like, we can't ignore this part of it. We shouldn't ignore this part of it.
Yeah. Doesn't take a genius to know that a big guy over there had really little interest in that whole thing.
At least if the wording of this despicably duplicitous contract is to be inferred. Frankly, it would have been more honorable if he had done this by combat.
Dagunth. What would you do if you got the throne?
Puddles glances at everyone who might be working here to see if they're being listened to as soon as Willie says that.
Perception check.
That's another 6!
Yeah, as far as you know, you're good.
Olga wants to look around too.
Okay, Olga, sure. Go ahead, roll. This is for everybody who wants to be sure.
This is dangerous stuff to say in somebody else's
Oh,
lair.
Maybe natural 20 plus 7, 26.
Oh,
Okay, so when Willie immediately says that, Enzo, you do kind of immediately notice that host that you were talking to before, his little pointed devil ears sort of, one of his little pointy devil ears sort of perks up at that, and he's looking over at your table, sort of watching a bit.
Yeah, I think
Please, Enzo.
Yeah, Enzo just immediately like laughs and hits the table, like, Willie, stop it! What the hell is a shield gonna do on a throne? And he kind of like, he has like this big grin on, he's smiling, but he is looking pointedly at Willie. And he only gives that like a moment before he looks at everyone else and says, I think we're thinking way too much about all of this. You know, we should really just relax. I think we need to actually take advantage of that nice little buffet. Obviously that requires walking all the way back out to the car to actually get our gold for it, but
Did they bring the car here?
Yeah, it's parked.
Okay.
A valet was able to park it for you.
Okay.
what do you say? And he like looks at everyone with a smile. Will like take the contract and roll it up a little, like, aha, no more business.
Puddles was
That
surprised
is a
by
great idea. Willie's like, haha, I've never tried human flesh before. I guess now's the time.
And so grins and says, honestly, it's not that bad.
Have you had it?
Have you seen me fight?
Olga's not even looking at that one. She's just like fiddling with her fork. She's like, yeah, I feel like grease.
Nothing wrong with a little grease, Olga babe.
You're right.
What
I do
the way
like
you
fried
cut
chicken.
though?
Gargunth is just looking confused. He's just like,
What's going on?
Should we all go to the car, or just some of us wait here?
I mean, 1,000 gold is
Split
kind of
the
heavy.
party.
Pedals.
It is pretty heavy. We oughta all go get our dosh, get our bread. Not normal bread. The gold kind.
I mean, I'm down for whichever.
See, Willie
We
thinks
all
they should
climb.
because we have to discuss out there.
we
Oh, yeah.
we have to discuss out there, and also Enzo would kind of encourage it because we did ask for privacy. They're not giving us privacy, and he's like, "This is probably our make it or break it. This is gonna be our only chance when we actually get out there and get in the demon grinder." So, like, yeah, we might want to fucking book it.
Olga stuffs the uneaten breadsticks
Yeah.
into her purse.
Oh, heck yeah!
Willie grabs one and is like eating it, and he's like, "Yeah, let's go. Let's go, gold."
Puddles is also just kind of confused like Garguth, but she rolls with it.
roll deception, each of you.
Just Puddles have to when she's confused and is just going with the party.
Deception with disadvantage for you.
No!
No, she's not trying to deceive
She's
him.
not-
Yeah, she's not trying to deceive. She's just following the party.
That's why it's with disadvantage.
How? No!
She's not even deceiving, though. Like, if she was deceiving, I would say yeah, but she's not.
He's not moving, guys.
Wait.
He's giving me a look.
Okay, fine.
Hang
Wait,
on.
what?
No,
The re-
like,
the re-
literally, she's not
The,
deceiving.
the rest of you, fine. The rest of you roll deception.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if she's not deceiving, she just shouldn't roll.
She just looks confused.
Good
But
news.
guys, my breadsticks.
Good news, I got a 12.
Better
I got
news,
a
I got a
21.
19. Oh god, 21?
Thank God, please carry Enzo.
21.
So 21, 19, and 12.
And so was trying too hard with that laugh.
21, 19, and 12. They sure do seem to be thinking that Enzo is trying just a bit too hard to get really out of there. It could just be like, they're kind of suspicious at him just kind of like really wanting to get out of there. But, then their suspicions are kind of alleviated by, Willie and Olga. It's like, okay, those two are at least acting normal. Maybe the salamander is just a weirdo.
Maybe he's a little too excited about Mortal Flesh, actually.
He's drunk off of breadsticks.
In any case, you do manage to step out of the infinite buffet without really getting any sort of suspicious eyes on you.
Oof. Oof. Above table, I don't like it here, guys.
Are we... So, okay.
So
We all...
you're out of the buffet.
Yeah, we're out of the buffet. Are we going... At everyone, are we going to the car? Fully.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. So we just continue on our merry way, just trying to, get around. Dermis, how obvious is it when I use the magical aspect of my key points? Like when I use the spells I have.
With key, if you're using the spells with key, hmm. I'm going to roll for, let's see how well this place detects key. Pretty well, unfortunately. So, they will know. If you cast a spell, they will know, unfortunately.
Never mind, then.
Olga casts Prestidigitation 57,000 times to just over and over and over again. To change all of the colors of their outfits to different rainbow colors, I don't know, whatever, so that whatever they detect, it's overwhelmed by her. I'm kidding.
I certainly hope so.
Puddle starts trying to use magic
It's like
to change your outfit. Tired of the suit.
And so, like, guys, I was gonna do Pass Without a Trace so that we were not looked at. This is actually, this is kind of worse, I think.
this is like trying to cover up a fart by dropping a glass so it breaks.
Yeah, kinda. It is kind of
Nobody knows you farted.
I guess.
No, then we continue on. Just walking casually. We are going to our car because we're gonna get some money because we hungry. That's all that's happening. We were told we could leave at any point, so, you know, it's not even weird even if we were leaving.
So, you go out into the front, and you do see a very large, red-tinted and horned Leonin just sort of waiting at the front. Just sort of sitting on a stool, just kind of, you know, he's wearing like a little, you know, white shirt, red vest sort of get up of, you know, it's very clear he's the guy to get, whatever that guy is who gets the car. Not chauffeur. I forget what that guy's
valet.
The valet. There you go. I was brain farting it. He's the valet. So, he's just sort of like, he looks over at all of you coming out, and he's just sort of like, oh, let's see, which are you? Do you have a fob?
We're the ones with the demon grinder.
There's about 5 different demon grinders, sir.
I was afraid you would say that.
Olga holds up her fob that she definitely has.
People in ours.
Hold on. You likely don't have it, do you?
There's people waiting in our car.
Yeah. And we kept.
Can we describe our demon grinder? Because I thought the demon grinders were kind of different from each other.
They are.
Or like we saw one and it was different from ours. So.
Hold on. And he's grabbing something from his pocket. You see this weird-looking scanner thing that looks like it has teeth and eyes on the top of it. But when he clicks it, it sort of just quickly scans over all of you.
Oh.
Olga hisses.
And he kind of looks at the screen. Oh, okay. You're the souls that own that one. Okay. Let me just... And he clicks the scanner out into the parking lot. Okay, the demon grinder in 112. Alright, give me a moment. It'll take a little bit.
Olga.
Oh. So yeah, he gets up and he goes to 112. And it takes you a moment. You do see a couple of other people sort of walk out of the casino. You know, some of them are, you know, imps and various suited higher demons and lower demons sort of coming out. Some of them looking happy and cheering, and some of them, you know, looking quite despondent and with empty, pulled out pockets. And okay. Alright, doing that. And you see one fellow sort of walk out. And he seems to be laughing and bolstering with a group of people. He's wearing a very expensive suit, just sort of like laughing, and it's just sort of like, okay, and you'll love this. Okay, so here I am. I'm telling. So I told the flower this sob story. I told this flower this sob story about how I needed a soul and I was sick, and you know, and for the time I was, but I really laid it on thick about, you know, how I was incurable and I was gonna die. And so when I did. And she's like, oh, wait, and did you actually? Yeah, I did. I did. I had her waiting in the... And I had her right in the other room, too. Oh... You know, I kind of felt bad for her, but, I mean, medical costs, the medical bill, man, it would have cost me my business. It would have cost me so goddamn much. And she was so sure we were gonna have a life together, too. Oh, the look on her stupid face. Yeah, man. Yeah. And he's just sort of waiting there. He didn't fail that one. He almost would have, yeah. But anyways, he's just sort of laughing with his laughing with his posse. So yeah, what you're inferring from this dude is that, he straight up manipulated Delilah into surrendering that soul.
Do I need to roll for Puddles to have this theory, or can I just...
Perception.
Okay.
Sorry, I ad-libbed bad. No. I ad-libbed bad. Anyways,
That's just a 7.
you sort of get the feeling that this
Oh,
guy's...
7 plus 7.
So 14. Yep.
Dang, that's different.
Yeah, the flower thing. You notice immediately when you said, yeah, and I tricked and I played this flower to sell her soul for me. Yep. So, you kind of know that, yep. And he's just still just sort of laughing. But he looks to the rest of you, happy and none the wiser that any of you know who he is. As he's just sort of like, oh, you waiting for yours? Oh, man. Yeah, you rolled...
Willie notices even more.
Yeah, he notices even more. And he's just looking to your group. He's just like, hey, you waiting for your ride, too? Aw, man, did you lose out? Yeah, sucks to suck.
Puddles is like
I guess-
staring at him.
Is gonna glance at Puddles. And it's gonna be a look of like, I want your permission to go ape.
She looks just distressed. But not because he wants to go ape, just because she's understanding. She gives a little like hand flick, like go ham.
Eh.
I also want him to look at Puddles, and so Delilah can reach out to them. Can they reach out to Delilah?
Yep.
Yeah, it uses
He uses a charge.
but
Yeah.
I want to reach out to Delilah.
does he like make a hand gesture, or do they need to have the coin
Yeah.
out?
The coin I thought the coin was around your neck.
Well, she keeps it close, but I'm wondering, does Willie have to hold it to reach out to use the charge? Does she have to pass it to him?
No, she's been able to reach out to all of you without being in your hands at all. So I would imagine it goes both ways. If he wants to reach out, all he has to literally do is kind of wiggle his fingers a little bit.
I'm gonna say that she does. Like, Willie looks like he wants the coin, right? Like, she would be willing
Yeah.
to pass it
So
to
he's
him.
just kind of doing that. So we can just say he's just kind of doing a hand gesture of just pass me the coin.
Yeah, she passes the coin.
And so you do a little bit of a quick. I'm not gonna have you roll because this guy's distracted enough to where you don't need.
And this is a place of soul coins.
Yeah,
it could
so
be you guys.
it could be you just. It could just be
like
like you giving him $1 for a soda.
right.
Anyway, so you do that. And Willie, you reach out to Delilah, and Delilah's like, "Huh, it's kind of weird that you're reaching out to me, hon, but okay, I'll bite. What's it you need?"
He's gonna flash the coin in his direction and just say to her, "Is it him?"
Is it who, hon? I've met a lot of folks in my time. I mean, it can't be that bad, and she just sort of stops for a moment. Huh. I guess Bertram made it here too.
If I... He just thinks to her, "You want payback?"
Bertram. Yep, that is his name. He is Rufus Covington. So she thinks about it for a moment. You know, when I think about it, I gave this motherfucker a soul. I gave him my soul for him to have another chance at life. And he ends up here. I wasn't expecting him to be in a great afterlife. But he ends up here. And he's laughing about it. That's definitely a name I would have picked for him. But I don't know if there's even a point at getting back at Birdie. But I certainly wouldn't mind Birdie's teeth being knocked out.
One set of nice teeth coming right up. And he is
Wait.
going to...
Olga, wait. When he says that, Olga will put her hand on his shoulder, and she's like, "You sure you want to start a fight in the casino?"
We're outside the casino. Free game. And he's gonna look at the guy with a smile, and he's gonna look so pleasant. He's just a pleasant little toon, you know? And he in his mind he says to Delilah, "Sorry," because he's gonna flip the coin in his hand and then catch it. He's gonna go up and he's gonna say, "We didn't lose out, pal. Not like you did."
Bro, what's with the dog in the suit talking to me like that? You clearly don't know who you're talking to, little guy.
Oh, what, Birdie? I need to know who you are? I know enough.
Nobody calls me Birdie anymore.
She did.
I've been with a lot of women, kid. You're gonna have to. I mean, I mean, sure, but and you can tell he is nervous that you called him that. He's like, but he's trying to brush it off, and he's just sort of like, okay, well, you know what, bro, just whatever, bro. I'm just gonna wait here for my car. He should be here any minute.
What, did you think that Karma wouldn't head up to you? What, being in Avernus ain't enough? You still ain't gonna learn a lesson, Birdie?
Bro,
You pull all those petals off and think you can get away with it? I ought to bite your throat out, you nasty son of a bitch.
Okay, but bro, why the hell do you even care? I mean, she's 1 in 1,000, dude. It's not like anyone would have missed her.
You are so sickening.
Well,
What makes you think you're special? You ended up here just like every other lowlife.
yep, except I'm king of this pile. I'm king of this little hellhole. Or at least...
Oh, you!
enough.
You're the king! Oh, you want to go in there and say that to Chompus? Here, let's drag you by the ear and let you say that in front of him. In fact, I've got a one-way ticket right into his office. Come with me.
Okay, bro, chill out, dude.
He's going to grab Bertram by the wrist. And he's going to say, No, say it. You king? Then act like one. Why you so scared?
Hey, security or someone to get your dog.
Hey, eyes on me, Buster. Wouldn't you know it? I've got a sweet deal going on with the boss of this place. Security ain't gonna do shit to me.
Security!
I think when Willie starts saying that, Enzo does kind of like give like a cautious Willie, just to be like, be careful because we haven't made a deal with him yet.
He means it more as like a Chompers wants them to make a deal. So if Chompers wants them to make a deal, he should let them get away with this one thing.
And actually,
That's not good either.
well, let's see. Let's
That's
see
why Olga.
if that is what happens.
Oh no,
above,
rolling for it.
Above 50, they are basically in your pocket. Below 50, they're not. Above 50, they are in your pocket.
Just barely.
Yep.
Oh, just barely. We get this one.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
this is one we use it on. I mean.
so you do see that he is kind of yelling security to this one fiend that's one bouncer fiend that's kind of waiting at the door. This one security guard, but he seems to be just kind of messing with his pockets, like just sort of messing with his little clicker, and he's not even really paying attention to him. And he's sort of like,
Willie's gonna reach up and grab him by the jaw and turn his face so that he's looking at Willie and yank him down like, hey, eyes over here, Buster.
okay,
It's funny seeing you whimper and cry like a little bitch. Someone who says he's a king, you act an awful lot like the court jester. Pathetic little fool pissing his pants for my amusement. Guess that gives me the crown.
look, bro, what the hell do you even want? I don't even know you.
Yeah, but I know Delilah. And even after a single day, I know that woman's worth way more than you've ever been in your life. What I want... Well, it would be oblivion if I had a choice, but I can't enforce that here. So what I want is to put the fear of a king in you. Me. Or rather, the fear of a queen. She's always watching, you know. She could get you at any moment. Roses have thorns, you dumb bitch. He squeezes that jaw tighter.
Okay, fine. What the fuck do you want? An apology or something? Fine. Well, whatever. I repent
No.
or whatever.
No, an apology ain't gonna do anything for you now. No, I just want you to remember this moment. The one where I kicked your balls in, and then he lifts his foot back and just fucking kicks right between the legs as hard as he can. With his armored feet and everything.
Nah.
Yeah. So, yeah, you do that, and yeah, he's down. You feel that as your foot makes contact with those jewels, and those jewels pretty well just kind of just pop and flirp inward. With a sickening cracking crunch squish as the tip of your boot just makes contact with his groin. And he is just kind of falling over and just screams in pain as now he's just on the pavement of the casino, just sort of whimpering and just screaming, just like, "You fucking asshole! You fucking fuck!"
Willie is going to cast Command.
Oh.
He has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Well, he's only a commoner, so he does not have the best, and he doesn't. He didn't.
Willie is going to give him one command. Shut up.
And he does. He tries to scream, but his mouth does not move. It can't move. It's almost kind of like a silent scream.
That is only a fraction of the pain you put her through. And I know that doesn't matter to you. You're too selfish. You're beyond redemption at this point. You had a chance. This is just a little reminder of what you put yourself in for, Mr. King of the World. And he holds the coin up so that she can see him, writhing in pain and unable to scream. And he smiles.
I'm more disappointed in you than anything, Birdie. And yeah, that's all she has to say. I'm more disappointed in you than anything.
Willie is going to walk back to the group and say, I hope it gave you something, before handing the coin back to Puddles.
Yep.
Puddles takes it and holds it close protectively again.
And eventually one of the security guards does kind of grab Bertram and just sort of drag him back into the casino, just sort of writhing in pain. Presumably to whatever medical staff or whatever nurse or whatever they might have on staff. And eventually, as he does that, you do see your demon grinder come up. Alright, here it is.
Thank you, kind sir. And he's gonna go right over to it.
I think, should I do anything about the weird elephant? Or the weird elephant, the bird, and the French lady sleeping on the bed in there, or...
No, they're a part of our group.
Alright. And he's walking walks back off. The valet just walks back off and waits at his little podium. You all are really kicked in the dick so hard they're broken as hell. In hell. So yeah. With his armored shoe. Bong!
Heck yeah. So are we here to just take gold, or are we here to book it?
So, can I do some kind of perception or investigation check to ensure that we are now in privacy once we're in the Demon Grinder?
That's true.
Perception.
What if they
Go ahead.
bugged it? What if they bugged the car?
Perception.
Puddles wouldn't think of that, but I want to join in.
I mean, I guess everyone can.
Olga would've.
I mean, everyone can if you want to.
I know if
I-
everyone starts looking around, Puddles would start looking around.
Yep, if it's just everyone checking there.
Yeah, 17.
Also a 17.
Oh, another 6. I'm like stuck on 6s today.
Right now, you and Delilah are just
Oh,
gonna
no,
have
the
a
demon number.
conversation with each other.
Yeah, Puddles making sure Delilah's okay.
How much did Olga get?
16, so not as good, but close.
It's barely enough. So you look through your demon grinder, and as far as you can tell, there haven't been any bugs or anything put in there. Of course, after having a quick conversation with Lulu and Loopsy, they pretty well kind of made sure that, like, they didn't do anything.
That's true.
In fact, Loopsy kind of just makes a comment of, like, they didn't want to go near her because I guess they had accidentally woken her up when she was taking a nap, and she accidentally turned one of them into a potted plant.
Oh.
Whoopsie! Is that potted plant still here?
Yeah, weirdly enough, that potted plant is still here. So, yeah, they didn't want to mess with the wild magic sorcerer that didn't know their magic too well. So, they no. Even if someone was sent here to bug your car, no one wanted to mess with a loose-gunned wild magic sorcerer.
Is the potted
So-
plant...
Still, Willie's gonna grab that potted plant. He's gonna be like, I don't trust it.
Just
Well, things can't hear out of his hat, right?
no.
Nor can they breathe.
Nor can they breathe.
Plants don't need air.
Yes, they do.
I
I
mean,
think oxygen is the primary ingredient for plants.
I mean, you could.
No, they
No.
produce oxygen.
I think
you're right. They need carbon dioxide, which is
Right.
also not in.
They can
release.
hold their breath.
you might want to just chuck the plant.
Hand it to. Just leave it outside.
Willie's
close the door.
Willie's gonna open the door and look outside and be like, hey,
No?
I have a gift for you.
Oh,
He's gonna hold it out.
right there! Ah! And you just throw it with this random old man. Just,
Enjoy your present.
Oh,
Take good care of it. Closes the door.
thank you, Easter Bunny.
Dog.
The old man waddles off.
And so just pats Willie's head.
Just, thank you, Easter Bunny, and waddles off. Okay. Okay, you officially, yep, your hand, you did, and with your sound check, Enzo, you do kind of see that, like, yeah, no noise can come out of this thing either. So, as far as you know, inside the demon grinder, no one can hear you. From the
Cool.
outside.
All right.
Cool. So, Enzo will say, so, our one request for privacy was not respected. The hosts, it seems, are quite nosy, especially when you start talking about putting a different demon on the throne than their boss in their casino. So likely, if there's any more conversation to be had about that, it needs to be had now, and it needs to be had in this demon grinder.
Right. Sorry, I was not thinking with that one. Oops. Oopsie.
Enzo just shrugs. It's no biggie. We're out now, so.
Well, in that case, yeah, he's gonna look at Gargant. He's gonna be like, I guess I'll ask the question again. What would you do with the throne?
Well, aside from returning the
Hold on.
Oh, do you need more water? Here, I'll get you some more water.
First, I would take a vow of silence.
If it's hurting your voice, you can just do a low grumble instead of the gravel voice.
I have water.
Like, we know who's talking, so.
You have 2 water.
Okay. Okay, so,
Olga gives Gargant the lozenge, so now he has to speak more smoothly.
okay.
well, for starters,
Okay, now I'm just going to do,
Lucius accidentally casts some wild magic on him that permanently changes his voice.
So, okay,
I cast
so,
lozenge.
no, so, Anais does just sort of, okay, fine, we'll just say Anais notices that, Gargant seems tired or something from talking, so she casts sort of an illusionary spell with her hands that sort of temporarily gets rid of the gravel so that he can rest. Fine. I'm not used to this voice, but whatever. If it were me in stating the old rules, I would first return the mortal planes back to their old locations. And secondly, I would train the forces we already have in Avernus to bulk up to the fences. Avernus is not without its own supply, and ready supply, mind you, of souls. We have no need of simply taking lands from the mortal plane and dragging them here. If we were to bolster the forces we already have, Avernus would be more than enough as a defense. And hopefully from there, I might be able to figure out some sort of form of strategy. Perhaps even to win the Blood War. If all else, the plane's hoping that would happen. So Garguth basically kind of pitches to you that he'd keep a rather kind of status quo-y approach to keeping Avernus around. Nothing would necessarily change under his rule, but nothing bad would necessarily happen in his rule either.
I do like the part where he gives back the mortal areas.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you chose Gargunth would be a very middle of the road traditionalist devil.
Puddles likes Gargooth. He's been a good ally. Yeah, Puddles is listening and looking with this all, and she's like, I mean, I could prepare that spell. I could start trying to figure this out. If that's what you want. Do you want to be the leader?
The only problem is that none would respect me. I know this. I am mighty, but it has been a long while since I have taken the throne. There
You
is
could
no
always earn that respect.
Perhaps.
And I don't mean
Yeah.
fear. I mean respect. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just gonna say, frankly, I don't think anyone who takes the throne is gonna be very respected right away. You gotta kind of, She makes like a neck-breaking motion.
Oh!
Well, if that is a clever way of saying constantly protecting your station, then you would not be incorrect in that assumption. That is the toll one must take if they are to take the throne of Avernus.
Well, if you want, we're not stuck with contracts. We could just let you think about it and decide in your own time, and I could have the spell ready for whatever you decide.
And I mean, regardless of whether you want to take the throne or not, we're gonna free you. So
Yeah.
that's still on the future table. Just,
Yeah.
you know, immediate action versus, just whatever. You got time.
Right.
I suppose that's true.
Puddles pats the shield.
This is weird.
Willie hugs the shield.
Zip, what are you doing?
It's called a hug, silly.
Zip, what are you? No,
He subbed the head.
no. What? No.
Enzo comes over and puts an arm around the shield. Bro pat.
Group hugs it. No. This is weird. This is weird.
It's just affection, buddy.
I don't. What? Are you trying to strangle me?
Puddles is not joining in the hug, but she's just like kind of laughing.
Oh God, you're trying to
It's
strangle
a
me.
hug. It's a hug. It's a hug for a friend.
You know what hugs are.
Here,
You don't tell me you don't know what hugs are.
I know what a hug is, but it's weird. We do not normally receive them.
Well,
Maybe if folks received hugs a little more in Avernus, things wouldn't be so crappy.
this is very friendship is magic.
What you just said sounded ridiculous.
Well, it's not entirely wrong. I bet a little more kindness would go a long way out here. Not naivety, but kindness.
He doesn't know what to do.
She does. You kind of just 4.0.exe him.
Well,
Logic, reboot.
you think on our offer, and I'll work on that spell to get you out.
Enzo will chuckle and pat the shield as he draws back and says, "Well, it sounds like we've got our options. We're going to still try to talk to Zariel, and if we must put someone else on the throne, our pick is Gargoon. Is that correct?"
happy with that.
Yeah.
If the shield could kind of blush, he kind of would. But clearly he can't. But you do see an expression sort of distort on the shield of just sort of like wide-eyed, almost sort of embarrassment a little bit, like, what?
He's oohing.
Oh, he's
What is that?
God.
I hate that word. I will not. Don't you dare say that word.
I do have another suggestion too. If things did go our way with Zariel,
And so gestures for it to continue.
Bargunth, even if you didn't have the throne, would you be open to working with her? You've got a point about the whole having your own forces here. You don't need to bring people down. Maybe if you became like a general for her, helped her along with the war, you both got the same end goal in mind, winning it.
Ooh, that way there's no, as he put, ass off the throne, like we originally intended. He seemed very hell bent on making that the only option, even though it wasn't.
Yeah, and if we since he has ideas, since Gargunth has ideas of how to do this without using, mortals, we could offer it as an optional idea to try to convince her to maybe not do what she's doing.
I'm sure there's some help you could get from her on her side of the experience of things.
I do not think she would be open to the idea.
Probably because you'd be a little condescending, huh?
Or probably because the one who deposed me was Belle. And her and Belle do not get along.
But
I mean, I don't get along with Belle either, but she would still suspect something.
Why would
How
she?
would she suspect
Why would she
us
Old
and
hate.
your enemy?
Yeah.
What?
Old hatreds, I suppose.
That's
I don't know.
silly.
It's weird.
Olga squints in complete and utter non-belief.
Usually,
Okay, I might have lied about that. I might have been... Look, I think she just kind of hates me. Most people just kind of hate me.
Well, that's why you have to have a really good case. If you have a solid plan in war, that shouldn't matter, right?
Yeah, personal feelings ain't exactly something to, take super strongly in case of something that, affects the entire plane.
Olga snaps her finger. I know. Seducer.
Seducer!
Love and war.
I am what? No, I am a shield.
I mean, we're
Well,
gonna
you
fix
won't be
that
for
You're
part.
not
long.
gonna be a shield
Yeah.
for very long.
We're gonna
I
fix
bet
that
you're
part, no
a
matter what.
handsome lug outside of the shield, Gargunth.
No, I am not. I am not traditionally attractive by any mortal standard.
Aww.
Well, we're not looking at mortal standards. We are looking at Avernal
come on.
standards here.
And you also forget that Zariel was an ex-Celestial, so I am even more disgusting by Celestial standards.
Opposites tend to
Or-
attract.
Wink. Olga's winking aggressively.
No.
Alright, we won't make you do anything you're not comfortable with, but maybe at least think over the idea of trying to talk with her. We could vouch for you. We've been all over Avernus, and you've done nothing but prove your worth and prove your, in a way, trustworthiness.
That's right, you have an alibi right now. You've been trapped in a shield for who knows how long.
I suppose that is true.
There may be old grudges from the past, but sometimes time has a way of changing opinions, changing people. If you approach Zariel correctly, you bend the knee, ask to work together, and Enzo shrugs. Something good could come of it. We won't know unless we try.
Right.
You all are hinging a lot on the fact on my own charm, which seems like a very dangerous idea.
We'll have your back.
Well,
Young?
charming.
Charm is clearly is not the only thing. We're also talking about your army and stuff. Armies are sexy.
You're very charming. You got that kinda awkward kinda charm to you. Where even if you know you're not traditionally charming, you try your best. And that's endearing.
You know, Gagu, that some women find an intelligent mind incredibly sexy. And you have quite the strategic brain on you.
Yeah,
I know I find it sexy.
She really cares about this war, so.
Is this what the frog felt like when she was flirted with? Because this is weird.
Why are you dragging me into this?
This is fucking weird.
No puddles.
Relax, relax. I've got a man back home.
Sapiosexuality's the new thing. And he's like, I am a demon possessed, I am a devil possessed shield.
We're gonna fix the shield part.
Then you'll just be a devil.
It's true. But also, guys, yeah, if he's getting awkward about being flirted with, we don't need him.
Yeah, let's tone it down.
Handsome devil.
With a big, huge, massive army. Titties.
Enter Gredzen shrugs. Flirting aside, the advice of bending the knee and taking a chance to speak with her still stands. You don't have to seduce her, but you do have to make your case.
If we are asking of diplomacy, then I suppose if you can convince her to at least listen to it, then I can at least try my case at her.
Yeah. We'll all work together with this.
It's worth a shot.
Okay. I suppose I can try.
Yeah!
Thanks, pal.
We have a plan!
And we don't gotta sign that stupid contract.
That, yeah.
We don't, but we should return it.
Should we return it?
Well, with most contracts, you get the message across by burning it.
Should we... Is that safe to do?
Burning it is the most surefire way of getting the message across of a rejection of a contract.
Question is just how strongly do we want to reject it? But
Olga-
hopefully...
Olga puts her hand on her cheek, tilting her head like, again, I just don't think little old me should sign a contract with something that big. I'm just a little guy.
But
If I sign that, there's no guarantee of anything. I don't have control over this realm.
When Olga called herself a little guy, I almost on instinct had really go little, but that would have been really mean. I was thinking of her tits.
I want to imagine that he did, like, quietly, and she backed him on the shoulder.
Oh.
She's grinning, though.
Sorry.
She's smiling, though.
I mean, if we don't all want to go back in, maybe a couple of us could bring it back and be like, hey, we considered no. And hope he doesn't get
Listen.
mad about it.
Let's be real here. This contract feels like, what could I compare it to? It feels like
Coercion?
some human coming up to a squirrel and saying, sign this contract and this whole forest is mine now. The squirrel doesn't own the forest, and we don't own this realm, even if we do defeat Zariel. So...
It ain't our place.
Correct.
Will it be safe?
Frankly, I wasn't gonna sign it either way. I just like to debating all the possibilities. I don't sign contracts.
Will it be safe to formally reject it? And Puddles is thinking about the last time she rejected a contract.
Well, it depends on how you're wanting to get the message across. If you wish to burn the bridge entirely, that is what burning the contract will do. Plus, it's easy. It won't destroy the contracts. It'll just send the contract immediately back to him. It's not. It's not like burning the ashes of these things. These contracts are basically made to be indestructible in that sense. You can't shred it to pieces. Literally, the only thing you can do is send it back to sender with burning it.
If
Let's
we
stick
want.
a little note on it with a salary and a frowny face.
If we want to be a little more gracious, I can go back in and just hand it to him.
Or you could just do a cold rejection. Is that what you mortals call it? Where you just send a rejection letter and send it to their secretary or something?
Wouldn't that
Hand
still
it to
be
the
a...
melee
Oh, no,
outside.
I suppose if you want to risk it within there, you can.
I'm not comfortable with any of us
Risk
going
it.
alone.
Frankly, time seems to be ticking, and you might want to move and decide one way or the other.
I say we burn it. Not like we're coming back here anytime.
If this is a bridge we're fine burning.
Olga pulls out a breadstick
No.
and starts nervously eating it. We're gonna do
I
this.
don't
We're gonna burn it.
foresee us needing his help at any point in the future.
Puddles sighs and is like, yes, I don't want to work with him.
Then just point me into the direction of the contract then.
I want to say that when everyone has decided, yeah, we'll totally burn this bridge, burn this contract, we're not going back in, there is some hesitance in Enzo.
Yeah, because of the stone. Enzo.
Buddy, what's up? What's up, buddy?
Nothing.
Are you sure? No, buddy.
Willie,
Tell us what's wrong.
Willie, can Willie think for a moment and remember that? I feel like he'd like think for a moment, because he's been so focused on everyone else. I feel like he'd think about it and be like, wait.
I do want to say Enzo's not gonna bring like a lot of attention to it. It's just like
Okay.
him just kind of like he has the contract and he just kind of like taps his claws against it a little bit, but like he's waiting like just that extra second, like are we sure okay before he'll unfurl it a little to hold it up for Gargant to do whatever.
Hold on.
Yeah, like Willie did the thing, but I'm just saying like it was subtle for Enzo's hesitation.
No, Willie's going. Hold on. If we're burning this bridge, we could take a risk.
What do you mean?
Enzo, I know that you want that thing he showed you.
Enzo automatically like gives a huffy little chuckle. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know exactly what I'm talking about, and you do too. You're the sneakiest guy I know. If you wanted to return it in person, that would be the time to try.
Should I roll perception for Puddles to understand?
Sure.
I don't know why I'm bothering to roll. I just live by the dice, I guess. Passive wisdom is perception. 13, 16.
16? Yeah, he knows what you're getting what they're dishing down.
So she's immediately concerned. She's like, is that safe?
So, Laskin, no, it's not.
You're...
Going? You go.
Wait, you're planning on stealing from a pit fiend, aren't you?
Enzo
We could
grins a little.
We need a quick escape if he's gonna do this. We need a way for him to get out quick if he needs to.
Dimension door.
You sure magic
I
even
know.
works in the casino?
Command worked just outside. It was still on the grounds.
So at least...
Inside, maybe different from outside.
Well, we're in there. Maybe I could cast Minor Illusion, see if it works.
And so, he kind of like, he's thinking about it, and he says, doing this would be an extremely foolish way of possibly burning the bridge far more destructively than we intended.
We'd probably have more hitmen after us, honestly.
Well, yeah, but we already had them after us, and... I mean, if we're gonna burn the bridge, why not do it with some fireworks?
Enzo is thinking about it. I don't want to say he's like looking out the window of the Demon Grinder or whatever at the casino. But then he kind of like he looks back in, and he probably like first looks at Puddles, who is clearly concerned, and he just gives a sigh. They're saying, "I'm not going to endanger everyone for petty revenge."
Well, how about this? I go in to return it. You go in disguised. And if your disguise holds up in there, we'll know that the magic can work in there. If we know, we could give it a shot. But if you don't want to, you won't be pressured. I'll just hand the contract over and leave.
Well, then what would happen if the illusion fell while he's in there? Then they will immediately know that he would have cast an that he had an illusion spell on himself.
Then we run like hell. I know Dimension Door.
That also
And
seems
so-
like a risk.
And so cackles a little. It's a fun plan, but not a very good one. There's too many flaws, too many risks. I came here to do one job, and that is what I have to prioritize. And he'll hold the contract up for Gargoons to burn.
Okay. He sort of breathes in and he burns the contract. It immediately just sort of singes out and just disappears in a whoosh.
I think when he was holding it up, Enzo kind of like lets out a breath he didn't realize he was holding when it is like officially burned and everything. But he doesn't say anything when he doesn't draw more attention to it.
Okay, so whoever's driving better book it now.
Also gets to see it.
Shit.
Yeah.
You're right. We should have already been driving when we did this. Let's go.
Bye-bye. Whee!
Oh, go floors it.
And you just sort of exit out of the casino, exit out of the parking lot of the casino, just continue along
Wow.
the way.
Also kisses Willie. I was really fucking thinking about it.
It would have been fun to try.
60%.
Could've been
I
fun to
really
try.
I really wanted to try, but I had no plan for actually stealing the gem that is on dude's person.
Right.
That's like
I mean, if you were passed without a trace, he wouldn't be able to notice you, and you could just try to pickpocket it. But I know that that's very risky.
Right.
It's so risky. It's too risky.
I will say.
See, I'm too balls to the wall. I would have done it.
Oh, that would have been really dangerous, though.
If this is a little closer to the last encounter, maybe Enzo would have done it.
Well,
While they're driving along,
Mhm.
Puddles does. She pulls a glove out of her bag and puts it on, and just sort of reaches over to rest a hand on Enzo's arm, and gives it a squeeze.
Enzo will, like, probably isn't paying much attention, but when she does that, he looks down a little surprised and sees it's Puddles, and then he just smiles and he puts his other hand over top of hers.
And she smiles back.
Willie's pogging at the sight of it.
Oh, she did still glove it. She's still gloving it.
okay.
You sing protection! You sing protection!
You had to, I guess. It was too tantalizing of a joke to make.
I'm so sorry.
Don't be
Okay.
sorry.
Don't be sorry. I guess.
It is literally protection. So.
Literally. Pog! Literally protection. Okay, so. As you are driving along, everybody make a perception check.
Okay. That's
I'm sure everything's fine.
Hello, that's a
17.
13.
8, 9, 10, 11. Puddles is focused on Enzo.
Mm-hmm.
Willie is also focused on Enzo platonically.
Enzo is focused on Puddles, but also he knows they just burned a bridge, so he's looking out the window with the 17th.
Heck
Okay.
yeah.
Well, luckily, nothing of Chompers is around, so you do know that notice that that's good. He seems to, for
Oh.
now, be kind of leaving you alone.
Oh, Chompers isn't who I'm worried about.
I was gonna say, the thing you should be worried about is, and I'm going to roll again. Hopefully, it doesn't roll on the higher 50, but if it does,
I'm
I'll know what it is.
apprehensive.
oh no, this thing is basically saying I have to. Okay.
Oh no.
Whoa!
Anyways.
What is happening?
So outside, you do see, along the road, spears. Very crude-looking spears, with feathers sort of coming out of the tip a little bit. And on top of those spears are the decapitated heads of various devils and various demons, various mortals. And on top of the shadows of the ledge, you do see sort of the visage of figures sort of watching you as you're traveling along.
Does everybody notice that?
Enzo notices that.
Enzo notices, and like, I want to say he also kind of blocks Puddles' view just a little bit, because that's kind of fucked up. Not in a way that's obvious, he just kind of like bends his body forward so she can't really see out of the window next to them. And he tells Olga, you might want to speed up a little.
This is partially why Puddles rolled so low. Enzo is in the way.
Because those
Oh,
are
but
just
what
like
is
on the
16
sides,
grumble?
right? Or are
Yep.
they stuff coming at us?
You do notice more and more heads are beginning to kind of show around. Uh,
Where are we going?
well, you're kind of just going through a ravine, essentially.
Oh, we're in a ravine, so we're trapped on all sides.
Hmm.
When you get to the other side of the ravine, you do see a row upon rows of very tiny humanoids, all sort of at the ready, with bows pulled out, aiming in your direction.
Cool. Bows ain't gonna go through metal. Olga runs them over.
Olga runs them over.
Oh, so you're gonna so you're gonna try to ram it?
Oh no.
What are we ramming? What? A person?
No, rows upon rows of of what seems to be, at least from the distance, tiny humanoids.
A bunch of people.
A bunch of them
Tiny.
with bows and arrows. All of them.
Grunk? Imps?
Well, as you get closer, a lot of them do seem green.
Is there are they in the millions? Can I not go around?
More like in the hundreds. So, it'd be pretty difficult, and it looks like they'd be after you either way.
I mean, I can still run over a lot of people in this car.
So you're saying you still want to ram it?
When you say it, I'm not sure what you mean because there's more than one it.
Well, them. Okay, so run over them.
Okay, I keep getting worried that there's a big thing there that I'm not noticing.
As far as you
Is
can
it
go,
just a large line of people? Is
Yep.
that what you're saying?
it is a large.
Okay.
It is a large line of people.
All
And
right,
there's
before
no
they
room to navigate around.
before they actually get up to them, Olga calls the others like, "What do you guys think we should do?"
Can we? Hold on a moment.
How close are we? Can we see
Damn,
what they are?
I was peeking at something, but I can't. Damn.
Anyways, so what are you wanting to do?
Can we see what they are yet?
So you're kind of close enough to see that their faces at least seem to be grung. Literally hundreds of them, standing in a straight line in a row, all of them pointing bows and with their bows drawn, aimed at you.
Puddles is peeking out. She peeks out. She sees all that, and she sticks her head out the window a lot and was like, "Whoa!"
There's a lot of grung.
She forgets a moment that they're aiming weapons at them, and she's just in awe of it. Like, she is suddenly extremely alert and engaged in what she's seeing.
Yep. Why are we just discussing things? Just discussing things. Run them over. They're armed with bows and arrows.
But they're
They
grown!
do seem to be picking a fight.
Maybe they don't know who we are. I guess they wouldn't care who we are.
They might care who you are. You're orange.
I am orange.
Well, by the way, so Jen, you might want to do a dexterity check for the demon grinder.
I actually don't want to run them over.
No, but something is flying at you from the sky
They're
that you might want
attacking.
to. So you might want to do a dexterity saving throw.
19.
So you are able to stop. It doesn't hit you. But what does fall from the sky is a gigantic mace. A mace that seems to be strewn with giant, gargantuan-sized bones. And it sort of lands in front of you, in front of your vehicle, with a giant boom. Almost as if a comet sort of just made contact with the ground.
Puddles is
So
no
I
longer
actually
excited.
didn't want, if it's okay, I didn't actually want her to stop. I wanted her to, she isn't going after them though. She's drifting
Okay, so
to go in another direction now.
okay, cool. As you drift, or at least attempt to drift, something grabs the bumper of the demon grinder.
Alright, people, get on the weapons.
Puddles has ducked back into the car in alarm at the size of that weapon.
She hits reverse
Well, yeah.
and floors it.
Yeah, Willie's got Gargoon and his sword out. He's like, oh boy, okay.
He picks up the demon grinder. He literally just grabs it, picks it up.
Who's he?
Oh, you're about to find out who he is in about a moment. Because he immediately just sort of looks to you and just sort of slams the demon grinder down. Shaking you up a little bit, but he's sort of giving the impression that you should stop.
Olga throws the car into, like, she shuts it down and she slams the fucking dashboard, and she climbs out the top and just starts screaming at them like, "Who the fuck do you think you are? I have had enough of people grabbing my goddamn vehicle!"
Well, he chuckles as he puts it down, and he picks up the mace that was thrown to the ground, and he sort of looks to you, and is just sort of like, so the spirit in you is true. The rumors were not false.
I'm sorry, that wasn't your apology. She's like stomping. She's like, there's like sparks coming out of her and everything.
Come out. I wish to discuss with you about the charge.
Yeah, you and everybody fucking else.
Puddles peeks out the window.
You see
We'll
a
get angry.
Okay, so what you see is a gargantuan-looking pit fiend.
Where should I put it? Where should I
But
put
for the
it?
record,
So go ahead.
Wait. Wait, hang on.
Yes.
For the record, Olga's out of the vehicle. She's like on top of the car.
Yeah.
I'm sharing a picture. Where
Let's
should
share
I
the
put
okay.
picture. Just
Which
share.
one?
Put it in text chat.
Text chat? Okay.
So this is the thing that you see as you exit out of the car.
Oh. Ooh. Big fucker. Hottie hot hottie.
And as you come out of the car, or at least pop out of the car, all of the grung begin kind of circling kind of around your vehicle as they all begin chanting a single name. Thul Suk, Dol Suk, Dol Suk, Dol Suk, Dol Suk. And they just keep chanting that as he's just sort of like, he's kind of holding out his arms, kind of gloating a little bit in a way. But he kind of waves his arms down just to sort of calm, telling him to just calm down a little bit.
So, you are the ones who have taken this domain by storm, it seems. Have been causing quite the racket.
And it seems you were the ones responsible for taking the target that I was charged with taking back. The one that was called Nameless. And for that, you have my thanks.
Olga's still fuming on top of the vehicle. Like, but she's keeping her mouth shut for now.
Willie's trying to be sociable, personable. He's just like, yeah. he glances at Puddles though. He's worried about her.
She's looking extremely uncomfortable and is kind of like... She looks like smaller than she usually stands. She seems very intimidated and troubled by the whole situation.
Suk immediately takes notice of that. You!
She shrinks a little bit more.
Stand proud! Why do you cower? You have done much, so why are you shivering with your shoulders hunched?
She gulps and she stiffens herself and tries to stand taller. Sorry.
It's funny, when my scouts came back to me, telling me of what you did to them, it was humorous. Of course, I did have to punish them for their incompetence. But their tales were
Olga
quite...
snorts.
But their tale was quite amusing. So, with this in mind, and considering the great trouble that Zariel has been causing this realm, and considering my lord wishes her just as deposed as anyone else, I am suddenly stricken with a curiosity. If you are even worthy of such a gift of my strength.
What?
I am not a pit fiend that conducts in such things as contracts. Those are for the snake-tongued and the weak. Humor me in this curiosity. I wish to test your strength. To see if you four, or I guess 5, those scouts were never specific. But I wanted to see if you 4 have the mettle to even be worthy of the proposition I have in mind. Alright, I've met we also have a Pokemon battle.
Oh god. No, in the new games I can say no to that.
But no, he is... So I propose to you this. Fight me in honorable combat. And injure me. Hurt me. And if you manage to hurt me, then I will give you all that I can provide in terms of manpower and resources, as the personal charge to Asmodai himself.
Alice looks at the group like, guys, what is happening?
Willie is looking at Enzo.
So, what say you?
Says,
You have shaken the order so much in Avernus. Let us test that ferocity, test that strength.
I want to imagine that everyone is just kind of like peeking out of like the hatch on top of the demon grider and everything. And it's just like, right, just give us just one moment, and like gently pushes everyone back down to the hatch and closes it. It's like
Leaving Olga outside on top of it.
Oh god!
too.
Ah, she slips and falls and lands on her titty.
No, we don't actually have to do that. That was just a funny thing I thought about. No, just 1 second. Just 1 second. Close the door.
Right. So we're not seriously considering fighting that monstrous frog, are we?
I mean, it's honorable combat. She looks at her and is like, "Here, honorable combat as in, no fatalities?
Is she saying that to Thulsuk?
Yeah, why not?
If you are capable of avoiding such things.
Okay, so not honorable content. This.
The only honorable combat in Grung culture is to the death. In normal circumstances, I suppose. This is merely you, or merely me, testing to see if you could even harm me. But be warned, I get antsy, and I will not hold back.
Basically, please don't slap our corpses so we can come back from, we can do some death saves.
Do you think me so dishonorable as to double tap?
Some people around here would. You can't be upset at us for being a little cautious.
You dare think Thulsuk that dishonorable?
We don't know you.
And this is all happening kind of fast.
I am a very
You
direct,
stopped us.
I am a very direct pit fiend.
So, then be direct. No double tapping.
My terms are
Teabagging is allowed, but dishonorable.
Not what is even. Do you accept
What?
my offer or not?
Olga's already rolling up her
Yes.
sleeves. Oh, I'm just hungry. Get your ass up for
Yes.
touching my
I have an
vehicle.
idea. If Enzo, you have sneaky stuff, right? Could any of that help?
Possibly in certain circumstances.
Because what I'm thinking is, you guys all, we get his attention, we get into a fight, do mostly dodging if we can manage it. But if Willie has a boost to his sneak, I might like to have him try to dimension door above and behind Thulsuk to come down with his sword and do a divine smite radiant damage.
Yeah, I can cast Pass Without a Trace to give everyone +10 to stealth checks, but like that requires me actively using the key point and casting it now. And like Durham, I know you answered in the last thing that like they would be able to detect that magic was done in the casino, but you didn't exactly say like if me using a key point in and of itself is like it is on a spell still has the like the obvious you're casting a spell indicators.
I can tell you right now, Thulsuk is not smart enough to notice when a spell is being cast.
Oh. Oh no.
I mean,
Well-
kinda, but I mean, he also would just kind of be like, Okay, then I guess you're just kind of a pussy. I guess I'm just going to swat you like a fly.
Yeah, the question is also, does Willie want me to do this, like, now, or are we waiting for actual combat to start?
It depends. Willie's gonna poke his head out. In combat, are you expecting only weaponry, or can we use spells?
He kind of just there's a little bit of ugh face when you mention spells, but he's just sort of like, ugh. If that is where you find your strength, then I suppose I cannot exactly be too against it if that is where you wish to draw your strength from. If you
I love-
insist.
I'm sorry. I really love that we're trying to like do like it's such a low like just like talking and negotiating. Meanwhile, I'm looking at this picture and just like it looks so epic and
Yeah.
action packed.
Well, let's get the rules down first. Hold on.
He's very
Cool, so
flashy.
French
He likes
cool.
looking cool. He's probably posing to look cool and intimidating right now while you guys talk.
I love him. He is very intimidating, and this is a lovely design, and I adore him. I bet he has so much fear and respect in the land. I 100% get that. I also think he's kind of a stupid himbo, and I get himbo vibes from him, and he's incredibly sexy.
I
And
think I can
kinda
hear her laugh
I-
upstairs.
This is so weird to hear him say.
Like, I love him. I fear him. I respect him. Also, what? Oh my god. Baby girl.
Also, Twirl's hair.
Also girls there. I would chat with
What are you doing later?
And so,
OMG,
and so it's like, sorry, I like my grown tall.
Sorry.
Oh my god, your
I-
horns are like so big.
Oh my god.
I had canon that this image is a real painting in this world, done later with him. Like they all pose together. He's like, oh, we're gonna pose like this. And then look at the painting, like, okay, we gotta move a little this way. You know, like they pose. And he's like, this is not good enough, and he like kills that person. Like, another painter.
Yeah. Like, he gives me the vibes. He could kill me. I 100% believe that. But I also 100% believe he would do exactly as Yaru just said, which is pose for a painting. And just, like, talk about how strong and cool he is, and how melee classes are the best, and fuck spell classes.
Can I say one thing about him? Is it
Sure.
okay?
Yes.
Go on ahead.
Uh,
Go on.
So Grund don't tend to glow. And pit fiends don't tend to glow. He did that.
Oh! That's not natural!
No!
Oh.
Glowing tats.
Like he said it is part of his body, but he had to like will himself to look like that.
Oh my god, I thought you were just saying he has makeup on, like glow makeup.
No, it's
No.
not makeup, but like he made sure
'Cause here's the
that
thing.
he looked like this.
Yeah, because pit fiends all technically tend to look the same, and to look different as a pit fiend, you have to have a lot of will as a person to do so.
Hey, I love Thulsik. I know we just promised the throne to Gargan, but like,
No,
third
he doesn't want
option.
the throne though.
Oh, he doesn't want
Oh.
he doesn't want the throne. Hey, Gargant, you don't have to flirt with Zariel anymore.
right. We were having Garguth be like serving Zariel.
Yeah, he just wants us to fight him.
Gar-
He just wants us to fight him, and then he'll be like, "All right, I'm on your side, besties." So like, I think if we give it our all, and just show him that we're determined, and maybe get a couple hits off, is like we're good. Which is why I think that my plan and Willie's plan is very epic, because I can do the big sneaky surprise attack, while you guys go from the front, maybe flank a little bit at the sides.
I'm up for it. Olga's like jumping out of the vehicle, ready to go. She's rolling up her sleeves. She's rolling up her pants. She's rolling up her hair.
Enzo just shakes his head, cracks his neck. I'll take this over a contract.
This is way better than a contract. You kidding me? I love a good tussle.
Puddles is coming out kind of shyly because it still is a bunch of grung. Everything they say is new to her, and she's trying to absorb it. So she's
Olga
staring at
yells at
them.
her, Puddles, be confident! No, I'm kidding.
Good. Good.
Oh wait, let's do it a little further away from the car so we don't get it in the way. We don't get it in the crossfire.
Ah!
He just picks up your car and just puts it farther away himself.
There.
With like.
There we go, thank you.
They're just shaking.
Like,
Whoa!
Oh, this is wonderful.
There. Let us not tally any longer.
Be careful with it though. Thank you.
Hold on. Has everyone, you know, had water, had food recently? I'm just making sure we're all good, we're all prepared.
Willie's got his sword drawn. He's ready. He's
Ex-
ready to tussle.
Excuse me?
I'm a big supporter of self-care and making sure everyone is at their
No, they're
tip-top best. Okay?
They're not taking
I'm
it
just
seriously
making
at all.
sure. But if we're all good, then we're all good. Then I guess we can start.
Okay. We will roll initiative then.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I'm just imagining him, big guy, roll initiative.
I rolled a 7, but that's good because Willie needs to go after Enzo.
Oh god, I hope I rolled more than 7. But also, can we roll initiative and probably like
Stop.
call
Yeah.
it for this session?
Yeah.
I actually was wondering if we were gonna do that because
I just rolled a natural 20.
Oh.
nice. That means you gotta figure out your shit quick.
Right, well, we're
Yeah.
stopping for the...
Yeah.
the
So I mean, go ahead and do your rolls and get that out of the way now. But yeah.
Hey, Dylan, guess what I rolled?
Like,
Oh, what do you add to initiative?
I rolled a 7, but that's before my proficiency bonus, so it is before you. But it did roll
Okay.
a 7.
I think Willie's dex is higher than Olga's, so I think even though we both rolled 7s, you go first.
Damn, Puddles is eager.
I think she's flighty and jumpy. I think that's what's happening here.
Anyways, okay, then that's it.
So he's letting them all go first. You see that?
He's.
Hang on.
Hmm?
What's his initiative?
I just told you
This is
6.
Oh, it's right there. I see it.
Yeah.
I'm a fool.
We can just say that for theatrics. Okay. No, I'm gonna add this as a sort of thing. He just sort of looks to the rest of you, arms wide open, just sort of
Yeah.
like. Then fine. Ha, funny. But anyways, I am not a fan of Nickelback. I am a fan of Creed.
They're the same
It's
thing.
Creed!
Hmm?
Arms wide open is Creed! You're a fake fan,
So
Bolton.
I'm a fan of
No.
Nickelback.
So it's like his assistant just sort of crawls over to. Sir, I think you might have confused the two bands again. You dare say I am wrong?
Photograph is my favorite Creed song.
But anyways,
Look at this photograph.
so anyways, he's like, you have the first swing. And that's where we'll end it.